Welcome to StoryHive On Location Vancouver with Beats, Eats,
and more.
Today we are broadcasting live on the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish First Nations people. Shout out to MOARRR Visuals for the studio. Shout out to TELUS Storyhive for powering today's episode. I am your host, Humuzza, and we are here with the one, the only, the legend himself, Tricky T. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tricky is a Vancouver-based dancer and DJ deeply rooted in hip-hop and breaking culture. Montreal born, Toronto raised, and shaped by cyphers since age 14, he brings 26 plus years of battle experience, repping and winning across Canada and internationally. From organizing community jams to DJing battles and parties, Tricky continues to hold down the scene with that raw, real energy. Y'all, welcome Tricky T.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
It is an honor to interview you. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea where we met. I just know I've known you since like 2022. But if someone said, here's $1 million to tell me where you met Tricky, I would.
I can't even lie. I don't remember the exact moment. I just remember seeing you. It might have been... Honestly, it might have been at in the Nanaimo at
Battle Zone.
It might have been,
Word.
or like if it wasn't there, like that's my first time seeing you, like because I'm pretty sure you were there for that one.
Yeah.
Because I remember like immediately I messaged because I'm down with the Moonrunners as well, and shout out to Keith the Guide, super dope dancer. And he's very like adamant about being good at hip hop, and he is, you know what I mean. But I was just like, yo, there's this kid Humuzza, man. Like, yo, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna be a problem. I promise you.
I appreciate that.
On God.
I appreciate that.
We'll see. I was like, all right, I'm just trying to show y'all.
Yeah. And honestly, it's so funny. I think so. I met you sometime in 2022. For the first maybe 2 or 3 years, I thought you were like around my age, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, black don't crack. But I remember I really thought like we were like, just like, around the same age type of thing.
For sure.
Because you look young, you have youthful energy, your dance is amazing. So I was like, this, homie. Yeah, so,
I definitely get that a lot. I can show you, I even used some photos from like 13, 14 years ago, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's probably like 6, 7 months ago." And I'm like, look at the date though.
Look at it.
What?
It's like 2001.
Yeah, no, God bless. I haven't changed yet. I mean, dancing is definitely a huge part of it. My diet. Try to be stress free as possible, but I got lucky with genetics, so that's a big factor, I think.
For sure, I hear you. So a little bit about you. How did you first get introduced to breaking?
That would be through my homie, Matthew Cruz. He moved to Canada from the Philippines when we were both the same age, so we were in grade 6 at the time, and we became friends from there. He lived like literally like right across the street from me. Wow. Like my building's here, and he's like, you literally, as soon as you cross the street, boom, he's right there. And by grade 9, because we were in the same school, so we were in elementary from grade 6, and then we went to junior high at 7, 8, 9. So by the time we got to grade 9, in between classes, I saw him doing footwork in the cafeteria. Like I was like, but sometimes when people like they kind of tease like, oh, I could break dance and like doing whatever moves they can do. For him, I was just like, nah, my man knows what he's doing. Like that looks. I was like, yo, what is that? Yo, he's like, yo, it's called breaking. He's like, yo, come to my house after school. I'm gonna show you some videos online. I was like, you got videos? Like what? And this is like dial-up internet time, so I was like, we had internet, but I was like, that he must got that good internet. He's got them videos. Like, what? What are you talking about, bro? So we went to his house, saw like Rocksteady Crew, New York City Breakers, LA Breakers, a lot of guys from like Miami, Texas, doing a lot of power. So I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to learn that. Yeah. Like, that looks crazy. So from there, like, we had a few other friends in school that coincidentally kind of started at the same time. So it's like, oh, because there's almost nobody that was into breaking. There's like 5 or 6 of us. So ever since then, we stuck together, made a crew, and from there it just took off. Like, yeah, we just stuck with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
you
back
mentioned
in 2000.
2000. Word. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. So
Yeah.
you mentioned some of the the crews that you were watching online. I'm wondering, in the area that you were in, were there certain crews or teachers that really influenced not only your style but also just your passion and love for breaking?
Not a lot of crews actually. So it was a big thing for us because we thought we were the only breakers in Toronto, pretty much. Because I've never seen anybody. Because like even in the videos, I'm like, how come I don't see no Canadians? It's always like people from USA or Europe. And then I ran into somebody. It was at Canada's Wonderland. Back then, they had a show called Electric Circus. It was on Much Music, and they had an appearance at Canada's Wonderland. And one of my homies was like, "Yo, Dizzy's here. Dizzy's here." I was like, "Dizzy? Who's that?" He's like, "You don't know Dizzy? He's from Supernaturals. Supernaturals crew. Who's that?" So ran over, saw this guy, Dizzy. Shout out to Dizzy, Supernaturals crew. He was breaking, and I was just like, "Damn, this." Flair. Like I've only seen it like on video. It's like almost like when you're watching a sport, like you've only watched basketball on TV, but then when you're on the court, like with Steph Curry, with LeBron, you're like, that's the guy, bro. That's the guy. That's crazy. So from there, he's like, yo, come to Scarborough Town Center. We practice on Fridays. He's like, oh, one of your homies has been there. I was with another guy called Stuns. He's like, yeah, you should guys come on Fridays. So from there, that's where they practice, and that's when I was like, yo, there's way more breakers. And from there, that's when I started meeting more kids my age. They just went to different schools. Because even back then, we would literally like go to other high schools and like infiltrate their high school dance to try to call out other dancers to be like, there's got to be some breakers here. Oh yeah, look at this guy. Oh, this guy trying to do baby face. Like, yo, I'm gonna call this guy out. I'm gonna call this guy out. So it wasn't too many, but then ever since then, Dizzy was like, yo, come to my jam. I'm throwing something called Back to the Underground. And when I walked in, crews from Mississauga, I saw Ground Illusions, Maximum Efficiency, like all these crews. And I'm like, yo, damn. But first of all, I don't even think we're going to win this jam. You guys are dead, bro. Like, damn. But there's a lot of breakers, so this is inspiring. So it's like I'm super competitive. So ever since then, but no teachers really. I wish there was classes and mentors and stuff. There wasn't even like places to go. We were always just sneaking into like a mall or dance in the corner until security comes. Like, yo, you guys can't do that here. Like, damn, like dance in the subway. Yo, you guys can't do that here. Like, damn, like outside in the grass until we finally got a spot. But yeah, that's how it started. Really,
that's awesome. I love that. I mean, I sometimes dance is really just by any means necessary. You got to find your space to get down wherever you can. So, where did the name Tricky T come from?
So, my original breaking name is just Troubles. B-Boy Troubles. So that was just mostly like a lot of mischief, things like this. Boys will be boys, you know what I'm saying? Like I was that kid. I'm the youngest of 3, so I was out and about just doing silly stuff. And from there, I was like, kind of wanted to extend my name a little bit because I watched this one movie. It's called The Prestige. Watch The Prestige. Super ill. It's about 2 magicians that are rivals. It's with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. Super dope movie. And it was actually Hugh Jackman's character. He was called The Great Danton. So I was like, that's kind of sick. Like, it's not just Danton. It's like The Great. So I was like, yo, I need something else. But I wanted to be like another name. And then I was like, got an idea from my high school, or my junior high school. And my high school was right beside it. So my junior high is Woodbine Junior High, straight 789. We were called the Woodbine Warriors. All right. So like, and then the school I went to right after that was George Vanier. So we were called the Vanier Vikings. I was like, yo, I need another team name because like I see the theme here, W for W, V for V. So I was like, I need another team name that makes sense though. So then that's when I was like, when I first started, I only really focused on tricks and power moves and things like I just wanted to learn all the crazy stuff. So I was like, yo, Tricky would work. So it became Tricky Troubles from there. And then, I mean, I work with a lot of kids and stuff, and I see and feel the vibe of like some parents and stuff like this and how it can kind of like rub some people the wrong way of like, yo, what is this trouble? It's like, you know, because it was down to the point where like, even if I would go to my friend's house, any friend, in a group, mind you, oh, this is David, that's is John, this is Henry, and that's Troubles. And I'm like, kind of like Troubles, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, like, why? So I don't know why everyone refuses to use my real name, like, because if you were to ask me, like, yo, what's your name? I'd always say, yo, I'm Mike. I'd always say that. I never say my dancer name ever. But everyone refuses. They're like, nah, you're Troubles, man. So I was like, all right, cool. So from there, I was like, I just shortened it to be like, yo, just Tricky T. And it kind of just stuck with that. So I'm like, oh, yeah, short, easy, one letter, boom.
Yeah. And it's a good name. Like, I always love hearing dancers' story on how they got, you know, their stage name. Because, I mean, I don't have one. My stage name is literally just my name. Like, I think I have a cool
a lot
name.
of dancers, a lot of dancers have that.
I just can't think of any cool names. Like, I tried at one point, but every single name I thought of was just goofy. And I was like, there's no way I can go to a battle and be called goofy.
Yeah,
so
I mean, usually it's like someone gives you the name too, and it kind of just sticks. But yeah, you're too far gone now. You're branded. You know?
But here's the thing. I'm thinking randomly one day I'm gonna just enter a battle under some random name and just like see what the reaction is.
Yo, I used to do that. I even have like somewhat of an international strategy that you get 2 different outfits. You sign up at the beginning of the list and you sign up at the end of the list with 2 different names.
That's
and you change your fit. You know
and then, hey, but what if both entities?
Then you pick which one that you want to be like, oh, okay, eliminated,
Word.
he's gone.
Word, that's what's
That's
that's
that
smart.
way you can pick your bracket or whatever. But yeah, or you do both. Because if both of them qualify and they're on opposite sides of the bracket, you play with it until they figure it out.
Until they figure it out, they're like, wait. It's like the Spider-Man meme. Like, what?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, that ain't me.
So speaking of battling, I remember a few years ago, you told me that you have a goal of winning 100 battles before you stop.
Yes.
Is that still a goal of yours?
It is. I literally just did my CV and I had to calculate. I'm sure I'm missing some because I've been digging through the trenches like with so many people, and there's some that I forgot that I did. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Like, well, I've been dancing for 26 years. I can't remember every single battle. Like even in 1 year, I think one of the years I entered like 30 tournaments. So I was like, 30, damn.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. That's wild. But I'm at 95 right now.
Sheesh, 95
yeah,
dubs.
95, yes.
That is no small feat. Wow,
yeah, and there's always the debate of like, oh, but how high level was it? And was it international? Was it here? Yeah, some was international, some was local. But shout out to Box One. He said it best. Like, it doesn't matter what it was because you still had to beat everyone that was in front of you.
Facts. Yeah.
So it's like, why didn't you guys come to that tournament to start? You could have entered that same tournament, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's not fluky. It's a lot, you know? And then some of those battles was like 2 on the same day. Like back in 2012, I entered a 3v3 with Pyro and Glizzy. We won the 3v3, and they're like, MC was like, yo, Troubles, don't move because we're going right into the 1v1 B-Boy final, yo. All right. I was like, yo, right. He's like, we're on time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's my fault. I shouldn't have entered both. But I ended up winning both on that day, which is wild.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out,
yeah, I'm crazy like that, but hey.
I know, I love it.
I love to dance.
Yeah. What motivated that goal?
I feel like 100 is like a unheard of type number, and it's like I usually try to go for even things. So it's either going to be like 10, 100, 1,000. Yeah. So something that's just, I feel like a lot of people have 1, 10, 20, 30, 40. And I was like, 100? I was like, can I get to 100? Honestly, I didn't even think I could, but I mean, I got 5 more to do. So the most recent one was last year. That was number 95. I won Top Rock City in Toronto last year. I was like, and I didn't tell anyone I was going either. Like, I usually tell people, but I literally just showed up in Toronto and was like, oh, you're in town. You doing the... Don't ask me no questions, bro. You guys know why I'm here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know why I'm here. I'm not just here for random. Like, yes, I'm going to enter that. And yes, I'm winning that. Like,
Heck yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
But no, I hope so. Like, I took a lot of time off during COVID. Still trying to catch up. I lost a lot of strength, lost a lot of flexibility. But I'm inspired from the most recent year. I've been working out a lot, trying to stretch and stuff, and just watching a lot of the younger guys come up, and I'm like, damn, these guys are getting good. And it's actually getting harder, so I'm like, I need to hurry up and like get these last 5.
I'm not gonna lie, hearing you say you lost strength and flexibility is crazy because we just did a show together at the Chance Center at UBC.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Yeah.
fire. Your strength and flexibility is crazy, bro. So I'm like, I can't imagine if that's what it's like to lose some. I need some some tips, bro.
That's me having a standard with myself because half the time I'm injured.
Uh-huh.
Like I have an injured ACL, MCL, torn meniscus, kneecap, dislocated patella. Everyone's like, yo, wait, you're injured right now? It's like, yeah, I just don't complain about it. I just go. Like, what can you do other than keep going? That's how they are in nature. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like you should have like some type of like celebration or party once you get to 100. Like you need to go big because 100 is no small number.
Yeah.
You know? So because you've had 26 plus years of experience in battles and everything, I would love to know what is your mindset when you go into battles.
Ooh, that's definitely changed over the years. But if I want to be real, like, and that's because I've learned so many things along the way of like when I thought this would win and I thought this would win and it doesn't really work. And then that's when I was like, that's why I entered so many battles because I'm like, I need to figure out the method to be consistent. Like how many in a row can I win without losing? Because there's a ton of battles. I don't even want to get into that. Like, yeah, I've won 95, but now if we talk about how many times did I lose in the finals, I don't want to talk about that. So, but my overall state is like, I want to be well-rounded. Most breakers have a specialty where they're good at either musicality. One's good at power moves. This guy's good at footwork. This guy's good at originality and flow. This guy's good at like levels, like, but I was like, I want to be that type of like martial artist where you can just adapt to anybody's style because you can just really absorb what they're doing and be able to tap. So you got to train everything because I would lose certain battles. Like, oh, you lost because of, you were lacking footwork. Get my footwork good. Oh, he had a little better power moves than you. Get my power moves good. Oh, this guy kind of outdanced you. Okay, I'm going to get my footwork. I'm going to get my power. Okay, I'm going to get everything so that nobody can say anything anymore to be like, like even the haters got to be like, yeah, the God of War, you're like, don't do that. So usually, going into it, try to be as well-rounded as possible, and not really outdo what they're doing, but do what they're not doing. Show what they're not showing, so that you can really stand out. But if you got something that's similar, blow them out the water.
Yeah, I hear you. And mindset is something I feel like is always changing because I'll have people ask me like, well, what is your mindset for battles? And my answer 4 years ago, so different from what it is today because
that's what I'm saying.
You mean the scene changes, you change, dance, you get better, so you have to adapt with it. So I hear you. Battling now, I would love to know, do you think it has changed from when you started? And the reason I say that is I think a lot of people in my generation, we battle a lot, but only at events and contests. We don't, sometimes we do, but it's rare that we're in a club and we call someone out, we're like, let's go rounds. It's rare that we're at a session and we just go rounds with someone. So is that something that you noticed?
Yes. So I think it's heavily lacking. Like shout out to all the big events, Freestyle Session, Notorious IBE, Red Bull BC1. There's a lot of like Undisputed. There's a lot of huge events that have brought the culture from the party to a big stage where it's like you're in an arena with like 3,000 people. It's like, whoa, this ain't the club. Like this is such a different vibe, like high ceilings. Like usually you're used to like an intimate, tight room where you're like together like this, but to be like, I gotta take 20 steps just to get at you, and then take 20 steps just to get out. Like it's too big, you know what I mean? Especially for like a 1v1.
Yeah.
So I feel like the pros and cons is like you're able to get exposed more, the pros of like in those events, but the cons is like everyone's so focused on the tournament because everybody wants to be seen now with social media because like, yes, we can see more, but it's like, it's not even social media. You know what I think ruined it is the like button. Because like even when Facebook first came out, YouTube, there was no like button. You just put stuff out there and then boom. And then they added the like. They added a like feature.
Word.
Yeah, so you can be like, so you can get engagement of like, this is how many people like it, and this is how many people don't like it. And it's like, you know, so, and then it turned into, oh, but mine got 10,000 likes and yours are only 9,000. But it's like, and the 9,000, it's way more skills, but but mine got 10,000 though. So it's like, is that what the culture is really coming down to? It's like that's not what it is. So. And then beyond the social media aspect, I feel, yes, we're losing the aspect of, I mean, parties have changed. Music changes, vibe changes. So like all the OGs and the pioneers, they dance to certain music. Like nobody listens to funk in the club right now. No one's listening to soul. No one's listening to disco. Like there are, but like it's so rare. It's a lot of EDM, it's a lot of top 40, and a lot of the top 40 now is not like the top 40 back then. Not to say that back then was better, but there's so much music that just doesn't get played that's new. Yeah. There's a lot of new music that came out this year that people just don't know about. And it's like, oh, you just like the 90s stuff. It's like, no. I like artists that were from back then, so I like to play devil's advocate where I'm like, okay, do you like Michael Jackson? Oh my God, I love MJ. Name your favorite Michael Jackson track. What year did that come out? 1989? So my 2015 song is old, but not your 1989? Don't do that. Don't do that, you know what I mean? So I feel like we got to get back to the cypher culture and the party culture. And it's hard because the parties now don't really provide that, where there's not a space. A lot of the venues, you got to sit down. There's no dance floor.
That's true. Yeah.
A lot of people, and if there's a dance floor, it kind of turns into like a showcase versus like just vibing with each other. You don't have to do your best stuff, and you don't need to dance all the time. Like certain music should have certain dance styles, and sometimes I'll see partner dance stuff, but it's like, that should be done to this style of music, but you're doing it on this style. So it's like, yes, you can dance to anything, but it's like, when are we gonna get back to like, okay, you should do house music to house. You should do, you know, breaking to this. You should do funk to this. You know, like, yes, you can dance to anything, but there's a time and place where it's like, if R&B's on right now, you don't need to be doing air flares, my bro. Like, you know what I mean? Go find a partner, do a little two-step, get a vibe, go outside for a little smoke break, whatever. There's a time and place where I'm like, oh, like the song really speaks to you, so now you should dance versus forcing it. So I feel like a lot of things now are very forced versus the natural feeling of like a natural exchange where the battle just happens without question, you know? I think I would love to see that more, even at the contests and some of the tournaments. I don't really see call-outs. I think people get offended, like, oh my God, he's calling me out. Like, does he have beef with me? Or no, it's like being in a park. If I see somebody playing basketball or baseball, I'm like, yo, can me 2v2? Yeah, damn. Oh, yo, why do you want to challenge me 2v2? I just want to play and shoot by myself. No one ever says that. They're like, yeah, down, of course. So I want that aspect to come back. It still exists. It's just a lot of the culture right now is very contest focused. So I think if we take away the contest, it can help. But hey, to each their own. Everyone has their reasons of why they want to dance. And I hope they find what they're looking for.
I hear you. And I almost wish I could like take a time machine and like go to like the 90s or 2000s and experience like a party. Because like you said, a lot of the time parties now, people don't dance. And for me, my friends make fun of me for it, but like when I'm at a party, I'm the type of guy that if I don't walk out sweating, it wasn't a good party. Because if there's music playing, I'm trying to get down. But a lot of the time, that's not what people are trying to do. People are trying to show off the fit. They're trying to post up, which I understand. That's just not my style, you know? So I hear you. Are there any battles or rounds that are iconic that you will never forget? Could be yours, could be someone else's.
Man, that's a lot, because there's definitely a lot of people because that's how I get inspired. I see somebody do something amazing, and I'm like, okay, first of all, rewind that. And that's if it's on video, but like a lot of it was like when I was coming up, there was no smartphones. So unless you can afford $1,000, $500 to $1,000 camera, and you have to carry that around, like, nah. I grew up without a phone, so I'm used to just being in the moment. Like you had to be there.
Yeah.
It was more like, you know, like, it was like it became urban legends. Like, yo, because it's gonna become broken telephone of like, yo, he did like 20 spins, but he did like 3. You know what I mean? But in the moment, you're like, you know, but everyone's gonna be talking about it. So it's like I was more into the stories of the energy behind of what, you know, like you want to be there, and then obviously seeing videos is cool. But then I remember like the first time I traveled international was 2004, and it was to Detroit, and I started recognizing like, yo, wait, oh, that's that dude from that certain video where he does the thing with the one, yo, that's that. Damn, I thought he was taller. Like, he's down here, bro. Like, you know, so yeah, I don't know. It's tough, man. I don't know.
I mean, with the amount of battles you've been to, I imagine there's been some crazy.
Okay, well, okay. If I had to pick, I can go by country. So let's just keep it home. Canadians, pieces. In fact, it was at that event, that 2004 event.
Word.
And he did a crazy. Shout out to Michael Prosser and B-Boy Pieces. He's got crazy control, and his philosophy was like, because usually in breaking you want to do things that flow. Because anytime you have to like, sometimes when you're learning moves, you're learning them one at a time, and then when you're like, okay, I learned flare, okay, perfect. I got my windmill, perfect. It's like, okay, flare to windmill. Oh wait, my flare is this way and my windmill's the other way. I wasted like 3-4 months learning this. Like if I just did it both at the same time, so now you have to pick which one. But pieces would be like, I'm just gonna do it anyways. I'm just gonna flare one way, stop, and figure out how to like. He's like, take 2 things that don't go together and force it to happen. So he's that type of dude. But what he did, amazing. I forgot the name of that event. I think it was On Deadly Ground. I think it's in his DVD. If you ever check out the Funk Fanatics DVD, it's in there. DVD.
Word.
DVD.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It might be online, but like I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I need to find a DVD player.
Yo, hit up a local like a thrift shop or you know what I'm saying. Find a DVD player. Get it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Yeah.
I had that DVD, so I can like borrow it. But international, the craziest round that's like blew my mind. There's so much things in my head, but it's like I want to say honestly, it wasn't even like a round. It was just someone doing one move. It was B-Boy Physics, also 2004. 2004 seems to be the theme right now. It was Canada versus Korea at UK Champs, and B-Boy Physics, he came out, and I think it was the first time anyone's in battle on camera did 16 rotations. So I think at the time, like spinning, like doing like an elbow spin, you might get like 3, you might get 4. My man dropped 16 and then dipped. And
then that was it.
And on Canada, of all people, I was like, oh no, not on Canada. Remind me of like the Raptors. Like everybody just always makes history on the Raptors all the time. So I was like,
it's like, dang
most points dropped against the Raptors. Biggest gap on the Raptors. It's like 16 spins on Canada. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But it was like, I was literally like, whoa, that's possible?
Yeah.
What? So I love seeing people like just break the limit of like what humans can do. But there's tons of new stuff that's like, wow, this is insane.
I mean, the talent of some of the B girls and B boys. Like I'm not a breaker, but when I watch, I'm just like, you guys are insane. There's one battle that I have heard so much about from different people, and I want to know from your perspective, what this battle was like. 2019, Red Bull Dancer Style Canada final in Toronto.
Ooh.
I've heard so many stories. I hear the lineup was stacked. I hear every battle was crazy. I want to know. Through Tricky's eyes.
So 2019 was actually, because that was right before COVID, or 1 year before COVID. So that was the year, because I was always on and off between 2014 to 2019.
Yeah.
And 2019 was like, I remember it was like around now. It was like February, March, where I was like, yo, I'm gonna lock in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna kill it. Actually, it was even before that because I was traveling at that point because I went to. Yeah, I had just gotten back from Singapore at this time. Actually, no, I was in Japan. Okay. I went from Singapore for a week and then I went to Japan. I came back in April. So I was inspired from that trip, but I was like training all of 2018. And in 2019, I was like on a mission to be like, yo, I'm gonna like travel like crazy and like just battle as much as I can. And then that's when I got the invite from Red Bull. They're like, yo, we're gonna bring Dance Your Style to Canada for the first time. We'd love to have you in it. You know, you've been doing your thing with the All Style, so I think it would be good for you. Told me the concept. I was like, the crowd chooses. Man, they're just gonna pick like, oh my God, I love her shirt. I'm gonna pick her no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna do something like this. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. Like, you bring 20 of your friends and they just vote for you. Like, but I was like, whatever. You know what? It's an experience. Shout out to Red Bull. They've always had my back for opportunities like this. So I was like, yeah. So man, I think that battle was intense, and I think I had the toughest bracket.
Okay, interesting, because I'm not gonna lie, everyone I've talked to about it says, man, I had the toughest bracket.
Nah.
But where you? So you saying you had the toughest one?
They're lying.
Okay, I got you.
In my bracket, who I had to go through, first round I had to go against Rena.
Crazy.
After Rena, I had to go through Keisha.
Another crazy one.
After Keisha, I had to go against Lady C, who won the jam.
Crazy again.
And if I beat Lady C, I'd have to go against Keith the God. So I was like, crazy. It was not easy going through them. Like, I wish I was in another. Like, some of them, I was like, oh man, I would have crushed that person. I would have crushed that. Especially with the song they had, I would have like, boom. Yeah. And I was like, man, and it was tough going through Rena, and it was tough going through Keisha. But I was like, damn, now I gotta go through Lady C. Like, oh my God. And I think Lady C is my favorite Canadian dancer of all time. Like, I think she's super high level, just dope. And I was just like, I'm always nervous for battles. People always ask me like, yo, Tricky, are you nervous ever? I'm like, yeah, all the time. It's like, oh, it doesn't show, but like, yeah, because I know how to perform and I love what I'm doing, but I'm still like, damn, like, what do I do against someone that's so high level? Like, but I like that pressure because it makes me on point. It makes me like lock in and focus. Yeah. So, I mean, but everybody had it tough. Like, you know, it was handpicked. I helped to handpick the 16 because I think the team, the Rebel team, didn't know a lot about the West. So that's why I was like, yo, you gotta get Rena. Yo, you gotta get Natasha Gori. Yo, you gotta get Mega Man. They didn't know who Mega Man was. They're like, Mega Man, who's this? Who's this? And I was like, I showed them videos from Area 51. They're like, yo, that's the guy. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, he's nasty. I promise you, bring him out. He's gonna kill, and he did kill it. And it was awesome, but it was the first and last time they let me, boys. So I'm not allowed to do it no more. Sucks, but it's all good. Yeah, I got to squeeze it in there. Yeah, made it to semis. Yeah, it's cool.
Like, I mean, it's cool to hear because I've seen a couple of videos and the energy just looked crazy.
It was something different. It was new. I like the crowd concept, and you know, because you know there's a lot of biases sometimes with judges and stuff. It's dope to have judges because they're gonna notice the details that the average eye is not gonna see. So, oh, I thought this person won. It's like, no, it's not until you put it in slow mo. It's like, you saw all that in that short little moment. It's like, yo, that's why we get judges because they're trained to see these things, how hard the move actually is, and the difficulty behind it, and does it make sense? Is it original? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it part of the foundation? Is, you know, all these, there's so many layers, but it's fun to get the audience involved because now you're seeing the community, actual community being like, because the majority vote, like, you can't really sway it, like, so, and that event, you've done that event now too a few times. It's who's the best performer. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So you gotta entertain.
You
know what I mean? So get with it.
Shout out Dance Your Style. So you've been in the breaking scene for, you know, over 2 decades. What was it like seeing breaking in the Olympics?
It was interesting. Overall, the actual event itself felt like any big event. It felt like another Red Bull Beastie One. It felt like another Undisputed. So for me, it was very familiar territory. But to see it on the Olympic stage, to be like, damn, now it's like the masses really seeing it now, and like I'm like, damn, this is it, like televised, like this is sick. And obviously there's the whole discrepancies of like, yo, hip hop don't, you have the diehards of hip hop don't belong there and blah blah blah. But I'm like, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
I feel like hip hop belongs everywhere. It's just to each their own. Some people want to do it in the movies. Some people want to do it in music videos. People want to do it in the club. You can do it wherever you want. You can be raw wherever, but I'm like, it's its own entity. Nothing's going to change. It doesn't change the culture.
Yeah.
You still have your four elements. You still have your purists. But now we're going in a different way where it's like, oh, it's not a sport. It's like, yes, the culture isn't a sport, but battling is. You know what I mean? It's like martial arts is not a sport. But you can make a sport of it. You can make anything a sport. You can make like, oh, who can make the best tea? Like you just you come up with a criteria and judges. That's what sport means. Sport doesn't mean you have to do something athletic. You know, there's a lot of sports that take athletics, but it's like anything. That's not what sport, the technical term of sport is. So competing with judging criteria, sport. Sorry, that fault. So is breaking a sport? No, but battling, I feel like battling is.
I hear you.
Or, you know what I mean? So
I
that's my 2 cents on. And I think the Olympics is dope. It was dope. It was great. It opened up a lot of more eyes to the culture, and it's too bad it won't be in the next one. Like, but that's just the Olympics itself. Like they always go with which one brings the most amount of people, and that's why they constantly keep the rotation of different sports. So they're gonna try a different 10. Or whatever the amount is, and see how that goes, and we'll see. But breaking's been growing ever since. So shout out to that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it was surreal to watch, especially to have someone from Canada and specifically Vancouver win. Like that was like such an inspiring moment.
That's insane.
You know? Like,
of all places, like
right? Yeah.
Canada, but Vancouver, what?
Like the pride that so many dancers felt here was incredible.
Yeah.
Like it was like truly amazing.
But I mean, give or take, the way things were going with Phil for the past 2 years prior to that, I literally even told everyone, I was like, yo, bet on Phil. I'm 99% sure he's gonna win that right now, because breakers, we keep track of everybody, so we know where everyone's at. I'm like, no one's gonna beat him right now. It's no.
Yeah. So what has changed the most since you started in breaking? Like whether it's the style or the culture or really anything like that?
I would say competitions for sure. It's a different vibe to it. Like it feels too staged. Where like, like I said, there's a place for everything. There's a time for it to be on stage and there's a time for it to be in a club. But I feel like it's too staged focused, where like you have young kids now, they're looking at Red Bull BC1 videos and thinking this is breaking, that's the culture, and that's it. Not realizing like, there's way more to the culture. Like take away jams completely. Like it was the perfect example is during COVID. A lot of breakers stopped breaking because there wasn't no more events. They're like, oh, what's the point of training if there's no tournaments? But I'm like, is that why you got into breaking, to win battles? And to each their own, but I'm like, if you could take away, I always tell people, if take away battling, would you still break? Take away doing it for money, would you still be into it? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people had some soul searching at that time, and they got to realize, like, are they actually, like, what? Find your purpose. I always tell my students all the time, like, why are you doing this? I don't care if you're doing it to impress a girl at school, or if you're doing it for the money, or you want to look cool because you feel like you're not, whatever your reason is, like you want to win battles. Find your purpose, but like deeper than that, just get into the history of it, because if you can fall in love with the culture, you're always going to break no matter what. Like, so I feel like what's changed is people's purpose and the reasoning of why they're getting into breaking. The fashion.
You don't like the fashion?
They gotta learn how to dress, yo. Like yo, man. And I'm not saying like, yo, go get some like the newest Jordans and the freshest, like most expensive like Nike tech suit. But if you look into hip hop culture, the whole thing of it is like, yo, we don't have a lot of money. I can't buy the top thing, so I'm gonna go to this thrift shop, get what I can, but like, okay, how can I match this green with this other tone, and like you make it look fresh. And then because of hip hop, now all these, you know, Pumas went from like $10 shoes to like, now shoes cost like $100 now. Yeah. Why? Hip hop made that happen. So it's like hip hop's changed. Like people changed the way they make design cars, everything, like from clothes, like jewelry, everything. Is hip hop culture is inspired so much, but it's like now the fashion is going downward. Like mostly in just breaking, because like the rest of hip hop is pretty damn fresh. Like I was like, but for some reason the break is almost like you look like a phys ed teacher right now. Like you look, you know what I mean? Like, yo, come on, bro. Like what's with the, you know, you got the nylon pants with the button up, and I'm like, those don't go together. And I'm like, oh man, like. You at the club right now, bro. I'm not saying, like, you know what I mean? Just get a basic tee, and then, you know, just get a little pants, get a little, you know, get a little khakis, you know what I'm saying?
You know, like, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
gotta look like you got a mother that loves you, you know what I'm saying? You're like, you're about to say, I'm not saying you gotta go to church or whatever, but like, your fashion is your identity, and that's the whole purpose of clothes. Like, it's to cover us, but playing around with your colors, you can speak to people with just what you're wearing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's a huge thing. It's not everything. Don't judge a book by its cover, but the cover is what attracted you to even look that book's direction. To be like, ooh, what's that? Exactly. And then the dance is like, this is who I am. Oh, you're more than what you're wearing. Yeah. Or damn, that's why you're wearing that. Like, it really suits. So finding your identity with what you're wearing as well. Yeah. And being original with it. It doesn't have to be weird, but it's like, yo, just, you know, get into the fashion side of it. You know, play around, have some fun. Have some fun with go thrift. Go thrifting, it's cheap. Yeah. You can get a sick outfit for $30. I promise you. I promise you, top to bottom.
One of my favorite things to do is whenever I'm at like a big jam or a jam that has multiple styles, I love just seeing the dancers when they're just walking around and being like, hey, based on this outfit, you're a b-boy. Okay, you're a locker, you're hip. So I love when you can tell. Especially, it's easy when it's like lockers. I feel like they dress us very specific way.
Yeah, man.
And I love that aspect about it, how your fashion really tells a story in addition to, you know, the dance. So, hey, breakers, get your fashion up from Tricky.
You know what I'm saying? How's your boy? We can go thrifting, no problem. I got you.
So, what is something that the new generation has done that you are a fan of?
Take breaking to the next level.
Okay.
Because you always want to see, even outside of breaking, you always want the next generation to be more evolved than the previous one, you know? So seeing the younger generation, like, taking things that, you know, the previous one did, like one of the hardest moves when I was coming up was air flare. Like, if you could do 2 or 3, like, you were the man. Like, you were the top dog. Watch out for this guy. Yeah. But now you have, like, people in Eastern Europe and East Asia. You have 6-year-olds that are doing, like, 20, no problem. 50, no problem. 50? Yeah. What? Can you even, like, 6-step yet? Like, you can, damn, like, you got this advanced move, you know? So, and then just taking the ideas on, like, just pushing the boundaries of, like, because back then, when I was a kid, you know, a teenager, we used to joke around, being like, yo, imagine you can do this to this move and it come down, like, but then without momentum, just go back up, and then they're doing that now. Yeah. I'm like, wait, that's real? Like, you would think with the science and the laws of physics, like, that wasn't possible, but if you could, the fact that I was even able to think of it and make a joke, that means it was possible, because you have to figure it out how you can do that. So it's amazing that just the level that they're doing these moves. I'm like, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Like, a lot of things, like, you kind of, because I used to play a lot of sports growing up before breaking that, and then I was always athletic, but I got bored of sports because I feel like it's the same thing. There's like, what else can you do in basketball? Yeah. What else can you do in hockey? There's no, like, you know, but breaking, I'm like, you think this is it, but then it just keeps going. I'm like, oh my, there's always a new move, and there's always a new limit break. There's always a new, which is dope because it's an infinite chase. So that's why I feel like I'm never going to stop. I can't do what I can do what I used to be able to do when I was 20 because my body has changed. But I'm taking that experience and being like, yo, what can I go in this new? Because I feel like right now, there's definitely, like if I had to battle myself 20 years ago with what I have now, he can outdo a lot of the moves, but I think I can outdance him because I'm just way more experienced now. Like I don't need to do all that, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the level is so amazing to see. I mean, in breaking and other styles, the way that the level just gets higher and higher every year, you know, and that's awesome to see. And I mean, selfishly, I wish I was a b-boy, man.
Yeah, it
like,
ain't too late. It ain't
I mean,
too late.
it's not, you know, as my body, like, I just see the things y'all do, and I'm like, I don't know if my body got that. But, like, I think, like, breakers are the coolest people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I go to a breaking jam, the way that y'all just walk in, the swag, I'm like, man, y'all got it, bro. You know?
I always say, like, I feel it's an advantage. Any art form, it's an advantage to do it, to start young, because you have that much more time. But as an adult, I feel like, especially since you already have a background in dance, honestly, like, within 3 to 4 years, you catch up to a lot of these guys that have been doing it for like a decade.
Word.
Like, you know, it's just the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I hear you. So you are someone that has spent a lot of time, obviously, in Toronto, and also in Vancouver. You know, you've lived here the last
4 years.
4 years. 4 years. So, what has Vancouver's dance community / culture been able to offer you since you've been here?
Networking. I got to meet a lot of new dance because I've always come in and out of Vancouver since 2008, but I've never really got to really see their scene, especially outside of breaking, because I only came here for breaking before. Yeah. And then it wasn't until I moved here in 2021 and I was like, okay, let me see what the hip hop scene to say. Yo, I used to go to the popping events. And I was like, Troubles, yeah, the popping jam? I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to support. Like, I love watching y'all. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. So, and I know it's uncommon for a lot of breakers especially breakers, to support other styles of dance, which I wish they would, because I'm like, this is all street dance. I'm like, that's the party. We're all supposed to be in the same room. Like, what? Yeah. You don't have to enter everything. Just because you're not entering a tournament, you're not going to show up. Like, that's so weird to me. And that's what I meant about, like, the difference of the culture and the time. But I was like, okay, well, I feel, there's that.
Yeah. What about Toronto's? I know there's definitely, the scenes are still, Canadian, but very different.
Toronto was just a huge melting pot of different energies, because there's so many different boroughs, and down to where, like, this borough dances that way, this borough dances this way, these guys have that history, there's this history. There's definitely a lot of heated beefs, but that's like in anything, like, you know what I mean? Like, any sport, there's going to be politics and people getting heated over stuff. The egos come out, but then some of it is like, it's safe, because it's like, I did it with the homies all the time. Like, we can talk smack to each other. I used to, oh yeah, that's whack. Oh, that was a nice cartwheel, bro. Like, oh, you're trying to do an air flare? Oh, my bad. But then some people, they need the positive reinforcement where it's like, oh man, I'm actually like kind of hurting this guy. I shouldn't like say that. I should like give him a more positive thing. But I enjoyed, it was more like passion. You can tell when someone's being hateful or like it's like passion of like, nah. Because it's like, as soon as the battle's done, boom, we shake hands. Yo, let's go get a drink. Let's hang out. It's like, oh, you guys don't hate each other? Nah, we're just like passionate about what we do. It's in the moment. We're not friends right now. It's like playing a video game against your homie. Like, I need to beat you, bro. Like, I need to, or sport or whatever. So, but Toronto was dope because it has a rich hip hop culture outside of the dance. So I feel like a lot of people were just into, there's a lot of parties I grew up going to, a lot of, I go to DJ stuff. I go to the graffiti stuff. There's a lot of festivals. It's just a good place because it has the biggest population. You know what I mean? So it's just way more people. So per capita, it's just naturally going to be more eventful that way. And so I feel like I'm lucky because like every time I travel, everyone's like, oh, you're from Toronto? Yo, do you know this person? Do you know this? I'm like, damn, Toronto made that much noise like internationally? That's kind of crazy. So because like I have a lot of those guys on speed dial. Like, oh yeah, that's just oh, that's just so and so, like whatever. But to them, they're like, no, that's a superstar to them. So I'm like, whoa. So it made me appreciate the city more of like, okay, let me not take it for granted and really get mentored and learn as much as I can from everybody. You know, so shout out to Bag of Tricks, Supernaturals, Maximum Efficiency. There's a lot of crews that, you know, they helped keep the rivalry up, keep my hunger up. So I missed that. Because it's not so much now. Like everyone's kind of like buddy right now. Not that they shouldn't be, but I don't see a lot of rivalries these days. Everyone's, you know, I think they need a little bit more of that drive.
So, friendly competition. You know?
Yeah, you know, it's all good. It's all fun and games.
I hear you. Something I really admire about Toronto, like you were saying, it is very eventful. Like whenever I go there, there are so many events happening, and not just battles.
That's what I'm
events,
saying. Yeah,
parties,
events, period.
sessions, everything. And I think, honestly, you moving to Vancouver, you have really helped Vancouver have a lot more events, which is amazing. We appreciate you for that. Because I wasn't too present in the scene before the pandemic. I kind of really got into it later on. And it's really fun to see the city put on more events. Like the last 2 years, we've had way more events. And it's awesome to have more opportunities to, you know, battle, get down, party, and also the events that you put on. You put on so many events for the city. So
yeah, I'm trying,
thank
man.
you for doing
I've been
that.
trying.
Yeah, and so like that's really influenced us. So, you know, we really appreciate that.
Oh, that's dope. I did not know there was like, because I wasn't here, but I was just like, what could I add that I was doing in Toronto? Yeah. To be like, hey, Vancouver, check this out. This is kind of the vibe that we had out east. Boom, you know, and a big part of that was Vancouver Street Dance Festival in 2024. Yeah, because that was a lot of like the 2U4U squad, which is Toronto, and you know you got the B-Bab, Sandra, Mars, and then it was like me, and then Marty Bernardi. He was the president at the time, so he's from the east as well. So it was dope that we're like, let's bring the East Coast energy over here. Like this is how you do a pre-party. We're gonna play dance hall in the cyphers. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're really gonna like, and the vibe that everybody was having was like, yes, see Vancouver, like let's do this more often, please. Please, yo.
No, I hear you.
Please.
Like, shout out to all of you.
I need it. I'm tired of being home.
No, for sure. Yeah, as dancers, we want to be outside, you know?
Yeah.
Like, shout out to all the event organizers, you, people like, you know, Kristen, Jay Musodi. There's so many people that are putting on events for the city. So, you know, thank you to all those people.
One thing I'll give to Vancouver for sure, outside of what it lacks, is that it's definitely, if you build it, they'll come type of city. Like, you know what I mean? You just put stuff on. And I was like, stop waiting for me. I want to participate too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's all good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could build the perfect dance scene / community with bits and pieces from both Toronto and Vancouver, what would that look like?
Ooh, oh boy.
I know it's a big question.
Yeah, because like there's definitely pros and cons to each side, where one is lacking where the other isn't. But if I had to take the best of both worlds, what I feel Toronto, obviously the eventfulness, having more things happen, and more people tend to go, because even in Toronto it started to die down with like people not really going out that much. But like I said, the music changed, the vibe changed, so the party vibe itself is not really the same as it was. Like the music is not the same, so you can't really go out to do that stuff. And it's like a lot of people want to hear music that they know, but it's like, no, the origin of going to a party was like, oh, this DJ's playing. This DJ he likes to go digging. So I want to see what kind of new records he's gonna have this time. Versus like, oh, people go up to the booth like, can you play this song? Why do you always want to hear? You already know that song. You heard that at home already. Yeah. I want to hear something new tonight, because every song that you like, there's always a first time that you heard that song. Exactly. And you're like, yo, what song is this? Like, that's why I go out, because I'm like, there's gonna be a point, and then that's when you jump into a cipher, or you get down because you're like, yo, I have to get down to this. So I want to see more of that. What I like about Vancouver, I think there's more support here for each other's scenes, where I see a more mix of like, other than the breakers. So, but that's just universal everywhere. But I definitely see from me going to a lot of events where there's different styles of dancers supporting the other dancers, even if it's not their style. So it's a lot of them supporting each other at Robson or going to each other's events and things like that, and pushing each other's events. I think Toronto could take some notes from there, because Toronto's very like poppers stay here, house dancers stay there, breakers stay there. Over here, it's like it's more mixed. So I think the eventfulness and then the support. That's what I would want to see.
I hear you. I love that. So, to end it off, I have a couple rapid fire questions for you. So, first thing that pops in your mind, I want you to answer it.
Okay.
All right.
Like
so,
a short answer or like
short? It's going to be like this or that kind of question.
Okay.
So just
Cool.
and then you can explain your answer as we go. So, first one, crew battle or 1v1?
Crew.
Crew. Why crew?
I love the vibe of doing stuff with my boys, and then I like the fact that I have other people to rely on, especially if I mess up, I'm like, they gotta go get switched, they gotta go against, and it's just the vibe of doing stuff together, and I feel more comfortable where I'm not like doing something solo. It's like I have help with the homies, and it's like a bonding moment. So I like doing stuff with the crew.
Yeah, the crew vibe is like
it's unmatched.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you. Breaking battle or all-star battle?
All styles.
Word.
Yeah.
Why is that?
The wider range of music. I like going outside of, and not just the music, it's the people. Like I like being around more than one type of dancer. Where breakers, they're just not into dancing like that. A lot of breakers, I don't even consider them dancers really. They're just doing moves and stuff. Where the all-style scene is like, it's a real dance party. Everybody's there. It's such a vibe, different styles of music, and I get to play around. So it's always been a better vibe for me for all styles. So I'll choose all styles over breaking.
Got you. Would you rather have an iconic round or win the battle?
Iconic round.
I hear you.
Yeah, because you're definitely going to be, in 10 years from now, no one's going to remember what battle you won. They're going to remember, but that one dude, because look what happened to the Olympics. I'm like, it's not an iconic moment, but unfortunate,
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Where I'm
okay,
we don't need to say her name, but I'm like, who won? Who won the gold medal for the girls? What's her name? Oh, you don't know. Who won the gold medal for the boys? Okay, but you remember, so, you know what I mean? So iconic matters, because people are always going to remember those types of moments. So you always want to make an iconic moment, I feel.
Yeah, want to make an impact. I hear you. All right, these next ones are not even dance related.
Okay.
Movie theater or streaming?
Oh, that depends on what I'm watching. Okay, because I'm the type of dude where I'm like, this needs to be seen in the theater. Or like, I can just watch that But overall vibe, theater.
Theater? Okay,
yeah.
Got you. Summer or winter?
Summer all day, yo.
Winter.
Winter doesn't need to exist.
That's what I'm saying. Winter can go. Winter can go for real. Pancakes or waffles? Pancakes. Teleportation or mind reading?
Teleport. I don't want to be in nobody's head.
That's
too much.
That's too much. I hear you. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Secrets of outer space or secrets of the ocean?
Ooh. I would say the ocean, because like we just know so little about it, and we keep learning new things. Where I'm just like,
really? Everyone says ocean. I'm space. Like, I'm trying to know what's going on out there.
For sure.
Word.
But I'm just like, damn.
Ocean is tough.
Because water is just so weird, and it's like, how are you down there? Like,
I hear you. There could be other people down there. That's
crazy.
You know? Okay, well, that is all the time we have today. Thank you, Tricky,
thanks
for pulling
having
up.
me.
You know, it is an honor to talk to you and interview you. The passion you have for dance is felt, and it's amazing to hear. So yeah, if you are a creative in Vancouver, a dancer, artist, musician, you have a story to share, you can scan the QR code on the edited version of this episode, fill out the form, and you could possibly be a guest on the show. So shout out to everyone who watched the live stream. Shout out to MOARRR Studio and TELUS STORYHIve. Once again, I'm your host, Humuzza. This is Tricky T, and you've been watching StoryHive on Location, Vancouver, with Beats, Eats,
and more.